Okay, I realize this is on film and it might implicate me. But I'm going to say it anyway.
We'll fix it in post.
Everyone kind of just went.
My interest is piqued.
Okay, so when she sneezes... Alright, back for another episode of Crosstalk. I'm Tim.
I'm Chris.
And today we're talking about good versus evil. Specifically within the theme of genres and themes that defy genre.
That's right.
So, I have a really good example, which I'm going to save for last, again. And I'm going to let Chris go first.
Of course. Right.
Because Chris has a good example too, but
Excellent.
I want to hear what he has to say. So, Chris,
Okay.
what movie do you think best exemplifies good versus evil?
So it's a little-known horror film. I feel like it's been lost in John Carpenter's catalog over the years.
Yeah.
It's an early 80s film. It's called Prince of Darkness. It's got a lot of his horror mainstays. I'm pretty sure the guy who plays Professor Loomis in Halloween is in it. It's essentially it's a very weird film, but it's really
Is it weird, like Phantasm weird?
Sort of. So what it is that they find this artifact at this church, and it's sort of this well of black ooze that's and partway through the movie it shoots up to the ceiling and starts going a different place. And essentially what it is, it's sort of a portal to another Earth, where the idea is that there's an Antichrist, right?
Right.
So in this movie, it takes it a step further, and there's this alternate dimension to an alternate world where there's an anti-god.
Right.
So the anti-god represents everything that is like the complete opposite of the regular god. So if the regular god is goodness, the anti-god is just pure evil.
Right.
So, well, you have all this stuff going on. So the anti-god is trying to enter into our realm and conquer it. So while you have all this stuff going on, a few of the main characters have these dreams of this black figure coming out of the church, and bad things are going to happen. And what that ends up being is a future message sent back through time by these people to themselves through dreams.
Oh, crazy.
It's a very weird movie. And also too, like some of the lower level beings, so like the homeless and like bugs and stuff like that start being controlled by this evil force and not letting these people leave. And so like the black ooze gets into these people's bodies and then starts controlling them, making them do evil things and kill people and trying. So the evil god tries to come through a mirror, and it's very weird. And also too, at the end of the movie, they do the fake out dream sequence, right, where the guy. So the two main characters who are surviving at the end, and one of them is his wife. Yeah. She doesn't survive. She goes through the mirror and crashes it. She goes through to prevent the god from coming through, the evil god. Yeah. The anti-god. And he has a fake dream sequence where she's lying next to him and she's like all evil and like her face is all screwed up and everything. But then he's like, oh my god, the evil that we thought we got rid of, we didn't get rid of. And then he's like, wakes up and.
So they're the Scooby-Doo version.
Yeah, they do the total dream thing version at the end. And you're left at the end of the movie and like, what did I just watch? But these people, they're just trying to keep this horribly evil force from coming into our world and just taking over and just laying it to waste. So good versus evil, screwed up movie, very weird, very strange, very weird. Yeah, but
isn't Alice Cooper in it too?
Yes.
What?
Yes, you're 100% correct. He plays.
I've never seen it. I just know this.
Yeah, he plays a homeless person.
Oh my god.
He's got no speaking lines. But it's fantastic, and like he still looked like a human being then. So, yeah. So
before Wayne's World, that's why I did this Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, it's a very strange movie, but if you want to check it out, like I recommend to check it out just for the strangest. It's a really interesting. It's a big. You might consider it like a miss, but it's a big swing and a miss for sure. Like it's an interesting film.
Yeah, so it has valuable insights into the theme. Might not be on its own a great movie.
Yeah.
That's okay, that's how we watch movies all the time.
I really enjoyed it. The first time I ever watched it was like about 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was like pitch black out, so it like totally freaked me out. But
I have movies like that too where I'm like, I watched this movie like so late in the night that I don't know that I actually remember the movie properly.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's because it's so freaking.
I have,
weird.
but I've seen it I've seen it
Yeah,
subsequent times since,
Yeah.
and it's an odd movie, and it's gotten lost in his catalog, but it's strange, but yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of worth checking out just to see what his early work was like post Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So,
Wes Craven's
pre John Carpenter.
or sorry, John Carpenter.
Yeah, pre Ghosts of Mars. Anyway.
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. That was interesting to learn about the movie.
I'm a horror fan, so.
Okay, Mike.
Ooh.
What do you got?
Mine is a classic movie from the 90s, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was from the 90s, like later in the 90s. It is the Luc Besson classic, The Fifth Element.
Oh yes.
This one, like, it's, if you want to talk about good versus evil, like, the plot is literally good versus, like, the embodiment of evil. And
Yeah.
I remember the priest, I can't remember who plays him, but,
Yeah.
I
like,
cannot either.
Yeah, off
like,
the top of my head, but I know
like
exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about.
he's been like in a ton of movies.
Yeah,
But I
he
can't
has,
put a name on him. But there's like a line in the movie where he's literally telling the president of the world, going, "It's literally evil. It is. You can't define it. You can't name it. It's just evil. And we got to get rid of it."
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the guy who played the president of that movie also played Zeus in No Holds Barred, starring Hulk Hogan. Just saying.
I didn't know that.
Tiny lister. Yeah.
Putting that one in my pocket for
Yeah,
later.
yeah. You're welcome.
But yeah, and it's the reason I bring this movie up is because it's one of those. It's a really old movie, but it ages so well. Just because it's such a classic story. It's very simple. This organization runs into aliens, and then they pretty much take these stones that represent the four elements of the world, and then this fifth element, which you're kind of like. You don't really know what it is, but at the same time you're going, it's humanity. It's
They don't explain it.
No, I know what it is because I was taught in science called quintessence. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. It's like grade 10 science.
But yeah, they don't explain it till the very end.
No, exactly.
Yep. And it's one of those, and like later on in the movie you find out like
Spoiler alert.
like spoiler alert, sorry. If you haven't seen The Fifth Element,
The fifth element is love.
Was it?
That's what I thought.
I always thought it was like humanity.
I
but
know
I
it's
can't
love
remember.
because they kissed on it. I
Oh
don't
Jesus
know.
Christ!
I don't know.
No,
It's baby making, actually.
Baby.
And that's the start of
And
the
they,
Oh,
and
I
they,
see.
literally,
I
and they
gotcha.
literally make babies at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was one of those movies where it's like very simple good versus evil storyline, and the characters are really fun to kind of just like hop along.
Gary Oldman.
Oh, Gary Oldman's just
Gary
great.
Oldman.
He's the best part of the movie
Yeah.
because if you've seen over the top Gary Oldman, like The Professional, oh my god,
Gary
he
Oldman,
is
yeah.
super over the top in this movie. And his costume design, where like he has this weird plastic thing on like half his face,
And his head
Yeah.
seeps.
oh yeah, and he has that like, and he has like this weird look where he like purses his lips and looks like a bunny rabbit the whole time. It's so weird, but I love it. And
it's one of those performances where it's just like, where did you come up with this?
Yep.
It's a cult classic, and it's based on a graphic novel.
Yes.
And I cannot for the life of me remember what the name is.
Fifth Element?
I don't think it is the Fifth Element, though. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's good.
yeah.
But
A couple of interesting. The one scene there too, where he's on the phone with he's communicating with the big bad, and like they intend it to be blood, so obviously chocolate sauce.
Yep.
My other two things, I don't want to pick the movie apart, but it's really funny things I read about on the internet. It's like, so this second moon, wouldn't that screw up all the tides? And she's like, oh, she has like one of these moments where she's not motivated anymore because she realized that humanity's so bad because she reads about war. What about the Holocaust, which starts with H, and bombs, which start with B? And you know what I mean? So what about all these other words before you would have got to W? A couple of funny things, but I just throw it out because it's such a good movie, right?
Oh, it is, and it's like, again, if you're looking for timeless, but like, yeah, I'd say it's timeless. If you're looking for like a timeless movie about good versus evil that you can just flip your brain off
it
a
encapsulates
little bit, yeah.
And Chris Tucker is just hilarious.
It's one of the few movies I can actually tolerate.
Totally,
because
right?
he's great. He just owns the role, and you're just going,
He
you know,
dials it up.
if this were any other movie, I wouldn't like it.
It's surprisingly well cast role for him.
Yeah. Yep, and he rocked it.
Yeah.
He rocked it.
Yeah.
Like, highly
Agreed.
recommend watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Great choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Fifth Element. I'm glad you chose it because that would have been my choice. But
I may have also chosen it because they recently added it on Netflix, so like
Nice.
I saw them going, yo, gotta add this to my monthly rotation. So
Yeah.
good. Okay, so I want to talk about another really great movie that's like also kind of old at this point, but that's okay. I mean, like we're talking about like the '90s and back, like that's 20 years ago. So
Stop.
Uh.
Stop. I'll just cut you off.
I'm talking about Training Day,
Okay, cool.
which is like not quite 20 years old yet.
it's
We're
getting
getting
there.
there.
Wow.
So Training Day, I think, not an obvious example of good versus evil, but definitely, clearly an example of good versus evil by the time the movie's finished.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So Ethan Hawke versus Denzel Washington, like great actors, and they both start out as sort of like, you know, they're both just cops, detectives, right, doing their thing on the beat. But as the story progresses and moves along, and we've all seen this, so we know how it goes. But
Yeah, Denzel's character ends up being just like
incredibly corrupt.
Like, what a terrible, terrible person. He knocks it out of the park, too.
He's incredibly corrupt, like to the level of like, I would say almost worse than Scarface or like any other like drug tycoon. Like he actually like he says, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Like, he's actually that like.
And Denzel sells it that he actually, like, his character actually believes it, right?
Yeah.
You know?
He's that criminally awful.
Yeah.
Also, you know who makes an appearance in that movie? And like every time I watch it, I like laugh. Terry Crews.
Oh yeah, Terry Crews. That guy's awesome.
He's in that movie as like one of the like, I don't know if he's just like living in the neighborhood or if he's like part of the gang, but he's in it and it's like, yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just when I watch that movie, I think like Ethan Hawke does all the right things along the way. That,
Except
like,
for Smoke the PCP, you probably shouldn't have done
Yeah.
that.
But I feel like he didn't do that on purpose. Like, it was more of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was more of like a, not means justifies the end, but more like good, like he took the lesser of two evils kind of route.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, Training Day, man.
And his life ends up being saved because he had done the right thing earlier in the film, so.
Exactly.
So he's like, yeah, no, I totally saved, like, yeah, I totally saved her, and they called her, and it's like, yeah, the cop, and she's like, oh, yeah, totally, and he actually, and they let him go, because otherwise he was dead.
He was dead to rights,
Yeah.
like he was gone. Man, that movie's intense. Anyway, so,
It is,
Training Day, that's my pick. And I feel like, again, and this is one of those situations where we've talked about a bunch of different examples, but none of these really demonstratively fall into that, like, action-adventure trope.
No.
Like, you know, you talked about a horror movie. You talked about
Science fiction.
Science fiction more than
It is a little bit action adventure, but like
it's more so science fiction. I would say.
I think so.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
then
for sure.
and then a drama. So it's like perfect trifecta of avoiding the obvious.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an action movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I don't know. What do you think, Chris? Mike, summarize it. We get it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think we covered it all for sure.
Okay.
What do you think? Agree, disagree? What do you think about my crazy horror choice, Prince of Darkness, if you've seen it? Feel free to comment below, like and share the video, or even better, subscribe to the channel.
Until next time, I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Crosstalk.